They make them, we cover them, you sell them. Welcome to OEM Update, where we talk about everything you need to know about this year's vehicle model lines. My name is Megan Cusick, editor of Motorcycle and Powersports News, and today we're going to be talking about the 2026 Polaris Voyageur 155 line. This new line of snowmobiles starts at a base MSRP of $14,999. So, let's dive deeper into what exactly this sled has to offer. But for that, we're going to go straight to the OEM source. Joining me today to give us an overview of the 2026 Polaris Voyageur 155 line is Cody Kofstad, product manager for snowmobiles at Polaris. Cody, thank you so much for jumping on to speak with us today.
Hey, thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
All right, now the last time we spoke with Polaris about the 2026 Ranger 500, so if you haven't already checked out that video, be sure to do so. All right, Cody, so can you go ahead and start out by giving us a brief introduction to the Voyager 155 line? Like, what kind of rider are you targeting with this snowmobile?
Voyager as a whole, we look at it as the customers that want to do a lot of things with one snowmobile. So they're looking for a sled that can do things like go off trail and explore, haul the gear and supplies that they want, and be able to have a lot of fun and go for a spirited ride with their friends. So it's kind of an all-encompassing vehicle, but it really is a fun sled to ride at the same time.
So this is a brand new model for Polaris this year. What exactly was it that you wanted to showcase with the Voyager 155? What did you want to give to customers that you didn't already have available?
Yeah, with this sled, we have the opportunity to give customers more capability, mainly in two areas. So one is elevating from our previous Voyager that we had, where we have a little bit more carrying capacity. So a 50-pound carrying capacity on the sled around the rear tunnel, and then also a 450-pound towing capacity. So those were things from a work and being able to do haul the gear and supplies that they want. That was kind of key point number one. And then number two was bringing our backtrack rear articulation suspension into a 15-inch wide track. So the track is 15 inches wide by 155 long. So it gives customers flotation, but also the great ergonomics of a 15-inch wide sled. So those are kind of the two big points for this sled in particular.
Okay, awesome. And what would be some of the other main selling points of this sled?
Yeah, other main selling points is it's built off of the Matrix platform. So that's a proven sled that we've had out in the industry since model year 21. So it has all
Okay.
of these, we call them like the little comforts, things like standard smart warmers, which is basically handlebar grips that are heated off of a thermostat like your house, which is industry exclusive to Polaris. So
Mm.
that's just one thing. I already touched on ergonomics. It has all the great ergonomics that we know and love. And then it has all the options as far as technology and digital displays. So things from our standard message center display all the way up to our 7S that has GPS mapping, buddy tracking, and all the things that our customers know and love.
Now, I know you
Yeah.
mentioned the 15-inch track width for this one. What are some of the other specs that you can give us about this sled?
Yeah, so from a specs perspective, like the 15 by 155 track is kind of number one. Number two, like I
Mhm.
mentioned, was the rear cat rack capacity and the towing capacity. And then I'd call it kind of third and fourth on the list is 650 Patriot engine. That's been around for a long time and proven as well. And then we also have a great fuel capacity for those customers that do have kind of the long adventures. So 11.5 gallon fuel tank there. And then depending on which models, there's a handful of specs with shocks and displays and stuff like that we can maybe touch on later. But I'd say lastly is it has adjustable ski width so that, if you're indexing more towards off trail, you can narrow it up to fit between the trees and make this sled a little bit more agile. Or if you're riding on, flat wide trails and you want to widen the ski width, you can do that for added stability.
All
Hmm.
right. So let's go back to, you mentioned that there are some different specs for each of the different models. Can you lay out those differences for us between SP, XC, and Adventure Ultimate?
Yeah, yeah. So starting with SP, SP comes with 650 Patriot engine. So think about all of these specs or the differences between the models. We'll start and we'll kind of grow in varying trim levels. But so 650 Patriot engine, it has a 1.6-inch lug track. It has our premium storage rack. So that's a kind of the base rack that goes on all Voyager 155 sleds, and then also has a standard hitch. The SP has our standard message center display. So then kind of stepping up next is into the XC, where we get into a little bit deeper lug track. So it's our 2-inch crossover track. It comes with our Century front bumper, so a little bit beefier, better front bumper. And then thirdly is this, it comes with the 7S display, which is our premium display that has all the GPS and mapping capability. And then third and finally is Adventure Ultimate. So that's where we have the options. So there's option of 1.6, the 1.6-inch or 2-inch lug track, and then it comes with all premium colors. So all the cool, awesome colors that we get to have. It also has mirrors standard, and then it comes with our M2 passenger seat, which has heated hand grips for the passenger, and then it also has a Fox QS3 rear track shock. And what that does is it allows the customer to kind of tune their ride depending on what their use case is and maximizing their versatility. So if they're towing or hauling a passenger, they can turn it up, that rear track shock, and it'll ride good. Or if they're riding by themselves and they're going on a spirited trail ride, you can crank it down and rip the trails. So it's kind of a really good feature to have for both ways.
Yeah, yeah. No, I mean, it definitely seems like this is a very adjustable snowmobile for whatever use case you have for it.
Yes, for sure.
Awesome. Awesome. All right.
Yeah.
And so, of course, one of the most important questions is how best can you accessorize the Voyager 155? What do people like to put,
Mhm.
well, what will people prefer to put on that one?
Well, everybody loves accessories, no doubt. So for Voyager, I would say number one, which is kind of universal across snowmobiles, is storage. Storage is so critical
Mhm.
to be able to haul the things you need and the things you want. For Voyager, the two kind of storage solutions that I would particularly talk about would be number one, we have a hard-sided adventure box. So it's a plastic box that snaps into our lock and ride flex system. And then the other option would be we have a tall tunnel bag, which goes in the same lock and ride inside the rack, and just a kind of another way to solve that storage solution for the customers on that front. But what's great about Voyager is the rack that we have and the modularity that it has. So on the sides, there's actually lock and ride attachments that can attach on. So we have things like a chainsaw mount, auger mount, a hub house carrier, which would be like a ice fishing shack carrier, and then we have a kind of a universal tool mount. And so all those things snap on the sides of the rack, so it doesn't impede with the center storage. It's actually things that haul
Mhm.
towards the outside. So it unlocks kind of that added capability of being able to, number one, haul the things you want in the storage, but then number two, haul the tools that you want to do the activities that you're willing to play with on a given day.
All right. And so is the Voyager 155 in dealerships now?
Yes, yep, it's shipping to dealers now, and in dealers.
Okay, perfect. Well, Cody, it's been a pleasure speaking with you, and thank you so much for taking the time today to talk with us about the 2026 Polaris Voyager 155 line.
Yeah, thank you, appreciate it.
For more information about its snowmobiles or to become a Polaris dealer, head to Polaris.com. And as always, like, subscribe, and stay tuned to MPN for more of the latest and greatest in motorcycle and power sports news.